Welcome to the Level Up Podcast. This is your host, Omar Al-Duri. In this special podcast today, we'll discuss success stories from different aspects of the world. Today's episode, we are diving into the world of combat sports. Not only that, I have my friend, my dear friend, and also a super talented boxer, Frank Atangana. I need to pronounce that properly. Frank, how do you pronounce it?
Atangana.
See, you said it with a swag. Atangana.
Atangana.
His journey, his purpose, his story is a very, very good example of leveling up, and I'm delighted to have him on the show. Frank, welcome on the show.
Hey, what's going on, Omar?
I'm delighted you're here, man, because I'd like to say I've been a fly on the wall in your journey. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, true that.
And being a fly on the wall in a boxer's journey is more than just what happens in the ring.
Yeah.
When did you first start boxing? Because people will be surprised about this. And what drew you to the sport?
Right. So it's a bit like, so I started properly, actually full on, I started properly in Dubai in 2018. But way back, I used to be in football.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached the semi-professional level of football. And
For Paris FC?
yeah, correct.
Right.
But then I used to always like fighting sports, especially boxing, because I like the way we move. Like I find it elegant and sexy.
Yeah.
And I used to train for off season, so like a month, a year, every now and then. Now I arrived in Dubai in 2016, and before I got to Dubai, I used to train in a club like next to my area. So I'm from Paris.
Okay.
So I did like a full month, and then the coach there was like, "Oh, Frank, look, if you don't go to Dubai, or if you change your mind, I would like to train for our club and fight for us."
Yeah.
Then long story short, I arrived in Dubai, and let's put it that way, my first 2 years, so from 2K16 to 2K18, I was more involved into traveling and then the entertaining scene of Dubai. So my lifestyle wasn't what it is today.
Yeah. Can we just say you were working for Fly Emirates? Can we say
Correct. Of course.
Yeah?
Course. I was a crew. I arrived there as a crew.
that? So you were traveling the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which a lot of people find as a good job, good salary.
Yeah.
It has its perks.
100%.
And then you land here one day and you think, go on, now tell me. Listen, I can tell your story for you. I'd just rather you say it.
No, so what I'm saying is, so I arrived here in Dubai as a crew.
Yeah.
I mean, the job is fine. I love to travel.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But then that didn't fulfill me. Like I like competition.
Something wasn't right for you.
Something was missing.
Okay.
100%. I like the competition. I like to feel like I'm doing something for myself, or even representing my family. I need to feel like that I'm actually doing something like active.
Right.
That makes me feel maybe bigger or better.
Yeah.
Like, or both.
Yeah. You want to be a better version of yourself, and you aren't happy by being content at comfort.
Absolutely not. No.
Right. Okay. So it's safe to say that you wanted more than that, and you wanted to level up.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Till this day.
Amazing. So part of the reason now and by the way, something he said earlier, he said he started boxing at 2018. For those people who are thinking that you can really achieve things in that short space of time, you have another thing coming, because you're an athlete by trade, right? So you have always been an athlete and have someone that wants challenge.
Yeah.
Why boxing?
Because for me, that's the truest form of sports. And I mean, you can apply whatever you do in boxing or a fighting sport in general, you can apply into your real life. So football is a team sport. You can have an off day and maybe your teammate will kind of cover your performance and you'll be fine with that. With boxing, you're accountable for everything. You're accountable for your training, for your diet, and the day of the fight or the day you spar, whatever it is, it's just you. You can have the best training camp or the best coach, the best whatsoever. If you haven't put the work inside the ring, you're just by yourself. And it's not just about missing the pass, like you take hits. So it's serious. So yeah, it just teaches you about how to be accountable, work hard and discipline. And yeah, it just, for me, on a personal level, it put me in the right direction. On the physical level, but also on the mental level. So.
And you had experience in different roles and different jobs that you did before you got into boxing.
Correct.
With that, did any of those experiences kind of push you out of that field and more into sport?
How can I say it without sounding funny? So, for example, with a good friend of mine, and I'm apologizing for Emirates
Yeah.
As a company, for me, Emirates was like, we used to call it the hideout. It's an easy job in the sense that it's a lot about service, and obviously being a cabin crew involves like safety and security procedures towards the flight, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But I knew from the day I joined that I wouldn't make my whole career towards that. Like, I just wanted to do something more, and I wanted to do something like independently as well. And I knew that I couldn't have that as a crew. The boxing side, so outside of the accountability and everything, also gives me some peace of mind. So as I was flying, I was already sparring. So let's say I would have a flight in Johannesburg. I made contact with local gyms there, so I used to spar and I used to hide like black eyes.
Allowed, obviously. Presentation's key, right?
Yeah, just everything. So I would be in the briefing room being like facing away, and then the supervisor would be like, "Frank, you okay?" Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like, it used to be like that, but it gives me like a big peace of mind and how to just handle people behavior differently without having like an aggressive response. So it helped me a lot in many ways.
Because a lot of people tie boxing with aggression, but boxing is a discipline and it's a way of controlling aggression.
100% for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we fast forward now, and you are someone that, leads by example in terms of the accountability factor. But it's not only that. Why do you continue to take on opponents, put yourself through the nutrition, the recovery, the development factor in boxing? Why do you continue to do that?
Okay, so I'm going to backtrack to 2018.
Yeah.
So that's when I restarted boxing a little bit.
Right.
So basically, I was just typing on Google, like boxing gym in Dubai. There was not that many at the time. The first gym that I found here was Round 10.
Okay.
I did 3 sessions with them there. My last session that I did that year, so I get out of the gym, get into a taxi, fall asleep, wake up in the hospital. So I had a big car accident, and I couldn't do any sport for like a year. So my whole left hand side was shattered. So collarbone broken, lungs punctured. They thought I had like fracture on the spine. So I was immobilized for like a year. I could fly, but I couldn't do any sports at all.
Okay.
And because I've done sports my whole life, that year was hell for me because I couldn't do anything.
Is this while you were working at Emirates or after?
Yeah, I was still working with Emirates at the time.
Okay. So you got into a taxi.
Yep.
And then you woke up in the hospital.
Pretty much after a boxing session.
Okay.
And he doesn't even remember. The coach there was like Musa, actually. He doesn't remember that part. Now we know each other well, but yeah. So I woke up in the hospital. So I get into the taxi, close my eyes, wake up, and then I'm in the hospital bed.
Okay. And then when you wake up and the lights start flickering,
right?
What goes through your mind at that point?
At that point, I'm like, there was a lot of people like with having their face very close to me.
Yeah.
I'm really big on like personal space. I'm like, what the hell
why is they so close?
Like, let's just move out.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to stand up. I mean, I'm lying down, so I'm trying to stand up because I don't realize that, I've been into a car accident. I don't remember anything. So I'm trying to stand up, and then my whole body cracks. And I'm like, right. So I look left, right, and center, and I'm in the hospital.
Okay.
And maybe 2 days after, my best friend comes through and is like, you haven't answered your phone for like 2-3 days. So I didn't even know that I was in the hospital for that long.
Okay.
And that's how watching the reports and stuff, that's how I knew. But I don't have any memories of that.
Okay. So then what happens next? You contact your employees, you tell them I'm injured, or?
Yeah, so I contact Emirates, my manager comes through, we go through like a rehab physio thing for like 3-4 months. Basically, I've done pretty much all the hospitals in Dubai for that, like rehab. I needed to take some fluid out of my lungs. Yeah, crazy story. So they only, for example, one of the hospitals I was at only realized I was breathing on one lung only for like a month.
Okay.
So they had to take out the fluid like after. So for 1 month I was just only on one lung, and then so all those little problems piled up. and the physio and doctors just told me like, yeah, for a year, just stay low for a little bit. And I just promised myself like, look, as soon as I get back into it, I'm not gonna take my body for granted anymore, like, you know, party wise, et cetera, et cetera. I'm gonna get back to sports, which is boxing right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna play with it. So this is where we are right now.
Okay. What was your upbringing like? Were you someone that was always involved in sports? Did you have any challenges growing up? How was that compared to who you are today?
My upbringing, so I'm from a family of sportsmen. So my RIP, my grandfather was one of the first African football player in Europe.
Yeah.
He played in Bordeaux. 3 of my uncle were football players.
Okay.
One of them was the first French football player in Turkey. So I've always been around sports.
Nice.
And kind of a competitive environment. And even back in Cameroon, like most of my uncle, I have a big family, but most of my cousins.
As Africans normally do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
They don't waste time.
Awesome.
Yes, I've always been brought up into that.
Yeah.
Competitiveness. But then my mom actually hates boxing and everything. And funny enough with the story, so as a kid, when I was super little, a lot of people back in France used to say to my mom that I used to look like a mini Marvin Hagler.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And now today, that's probably one of my favorite boxers to watch.
Really? Yeah.
That's like one of my favorites. But I didn't know at the time.
Okay.
Even before I started boxing, I was like, why do they? And
Yeah.
I started watching. I'm like, yeah, he's southpaw as well. Okay, I like the guy. And then I love it.
Family is a big thing for you.
Yeah, it's everything.
It's everything. Recently, me and you did some boxing together, and your sister reached out.
Yeah.
And said, "Love your guys' energy, etc." You said family is everything.
It is.
Why is it everything?
Because family is like who I am, and they're part of me. I'm part of them. We support each other, and I'm not. It doesn't seem like that because I'm in a radio show right now. I'm not, as you know me personally, I'm not that talkative.
Yes.
Especially if I don't feel that comfortable with the person
100%.
I'm with. So I'm not the type of person that's on the phone every day with my family and everything. But whenever there's a real event that matters towards the family, like that touches the family, whether it's a good news or bad news, we always there. I'm always there. They're always there for me. And yeah, we just like a rock like that. So for me, family is everything. So, and not even in the sense like I need their approval for anything like that, but we just get that supportive energy continuously as long as we're alive. Yeah, and I love that.
I've often heard when I've interviewed boxers that boxing is a lonely sport.
It is.
Where does family fit in boxing?
It fits on my side. It fits on. So it's always there. Family's always there. That's the first part. But so let's say I'm preparing for a fight and I need to lock in. So I'm always at the gym, training, etc. Especially last year, from November to December, I got a fight like back to back, almost like every 2 or 3 weeks. I was preparing for a new fight. Yeah. And it becomes a cycle, and it can go a little bit crazy. Like, you don't know. I mean, you're getting tired. And it's mentally exhausting. And the family comes into play to bring that balance back. So I would go super tired, or when you actually trying to lose weight, I have personally, I'm pretty sure a lot of boxers or fighters do, like little mood swings. So I'm happy, super nervous, angry, etc. I go through mood swings throughout the day. Yeah. Then I get a phone with my older sister, and then we just talk about random stuff, and I'm fine now.
Is that Leticia?
Leticia, yeah.
Leticia, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Leticia, by the way.
There you go.
Now, when you're fighting, you have 2 incredible kids.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Suleiman and Isa.
Suleiman and Isa.
My superheroes.
Yeah. Yes. And you call them your superheroes.
Yeah, they are.
When I mention those 2 names, what happens to you?
I get emotional just like right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it that makes you emotional about those 2 superheroes?
Because first of all, they super little, innocent, and I just have genuine love for them, and I just want them to be better than me, and they will be. I just want great energy and the best for them. And the fact that they're there, I mean, they're here on this earth, whatever, will push me to be better anyway. So that's why they're my superhero in the sense that, yeah, they'll push me to be better and provide for them.
Everything about you, Frank, whether it's been boxing or whether it's been your kids,
Yep.
the term that comes out, having known you for a short period of time, as I said, I'm talking as a fly on the wall here, yeah? Everything for me says unconditional.
Yeah, kind of.
Is that a fair term?
In terms of family, and when I say family, I also involve friends. So if I called anybody bro, for me, you're my brother as if we were from the same parent, because I don't play with words. So anything that comes with the term family, brother, sister, whatever, for me, you're part of my family. So yeah, there's no condition like, okay, I love you the way you are, or that energy, I want to keep that around me. And it's unconditional. Like, doesn't matter how, in which type of form you come to me, I love that and I want you around me. Yeah.
And with Ace and Suleiman, they're still very young at the moment.
Yeah, they little gremlins right now. Yeah.
How old are they?
So Suleiman is 2 and Isa is 6 months.
6 months, mashallah. If you could have a conversation with them now, what would you say to them?
Just that I love them, period. And yeah, I miss them every day.
You're getting me emotional now, Frank.
Yeah.
You're getting me emotional. I'm the host. I'm not supposed to be emotional here. That's not what I do. I don't have my own kids yet, so I can't relate to you, what you're saying. But is that a drive for you?
It is, because there's no, how can I say? Sorry. I'm in a point there with I didn't mention that with my personal situation with my kids, they're not with me anymore right now. I know it's temporary and stuff, but I have no choice but to be great. Like, no choice. Absolutely no choice. That's the drive there. And then as I do great, when I see them, I'll be at peace because I know I can show them a great example and I'll be mentally sane to be the best father they can have. That's it.
And I can't wait to tell them that story. Might have them both here on the show, maybe level up and like, let's give them 10 years maybe. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think for what you stand for and for the man that you are, I think that's answered my next question, but I'll ask it anyway. What is your why?
My why is, so on the personal level, just be the best version of myself. Be the best version of myself in terms of accomplishment, mentally speaking, just trying to lead by example. Nobody's perfect. I'm not. But yeah, just give my best so that as I'm done with everything, I have no regret. And yeah, I can be at peace with myself. Like, I want to be at peace with myself and achieve whatever I decided to achieve in life. The other wise, obviously, is my kids, because I want to show them pretty much what I haven't been shown growing up. Like in terms of the male figures, I want to show them like how our work can provide. And be a genuine nice person can do to you, etc. Like, just trying to teach them nice values. I'll put it that way.
It seems, again, like listening to what you're saying today, that, and I haven't thought about this before, that you're rewriting your own story.
Yeah, recreating myself 100%.
But if I went back and asked you who was your role model as a child, did you have a role model growing up?
My grandpa.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it about your grandpa that inspired you?
Got me emotional again.
Oh no, man, I'm on a roll today. I'm sorry. I'm just using this excuse to get to know him. It's not really a show. I just want to get to know Frank. What is it about your grandpa? You don't have to answer this question if you don't want to, but what is it about your grandpa that is a role model for you?
He was the most straightforward person that I've.
You take your time. I appreciate your honesty. I'm learning more about you than I could have imagined today, actually.
Sorry, but I needed that, so. Sorry.
You know, I'll tell you one thing though, Frank, while you're recollecting your thoughts. I think sometimes closure is a huge thing, and I think sometimes venting is a huge thing. And as a boxer, there's not many boxers that have the courage to speak out. And that's a talent, bro. Honestly, no, it's a skill. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of the reasons why when people don't talk, later on it affects them. So you being able to have the courage to speak out today, and I definitely didn't plan this, because even if I show you the questions that Noah has put on here, none of these questions are what I'm asking you. This is the truth. I don't think maybe there's one. No, I didn't even ask that one. That had that. But we'll go back to what I was saying to you.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of courage to speak.
Thank you, man.
And you and I mean, I've had the privilege to listen to you a few times, and I have to say, it's helped me therapeutically to listen to you. Selfishly, when I hear you speak offline, off camera, off everything, it's helped me just feel better about myself, you know. And I ask that because I can relate to you, by the way, in many ways. That I haven't really shared on this podcast before.
Yeah.
But in terms of my grandpa, the first person who took me out to play football. My dad never watched me play. So there's so many things in what you say that I can kind of just, I can nod my head and I can say respect to that, you know. But I never had closure with that. So asking you that question almost got me going.
Now, so my grandpa was the most straightforward person that I've ever met. So there's no, my grandpa was the most straightforward person that I've ever met. Like there was no filters. If he liked you, same, unconditional. If he didn't, you would feel it from the first second. But on the other side, so he's the one that brought my whole family from Cameroon to France.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was just a leader and kind to everyone. And so when he left, so outside of the emotional sides of it, like losing a family member, the respect that he had made me feel like I want to be like that guy.
That's the level.
Yeah, for me, that's the level.
Wow, it's amazing. It's almost like, you know, normally you say you open up a dictionary, you look at a word.
Yeah.
What you just said now, when I open up the dictionary, I see respect, I see your grandfather's name.
100%.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Everything.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Okay, all right. Wow. Got me sore now, man. I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do here? That's amazing. Amazing, honestly, amazing. Right, you know what? Let's divert this.
Let's go.
Let's talk about YouTube boxing.
Tell me about it, man.
All right, if you could create a YouTube fight, this is a real fight, but if you could create a YouTube fight, okay?
Against YouTuber or real boxers?
I mean, are YouTubers real boxers? That's the question right there.
Yeah, I don't know how to play. I mean, some of them,
they train
like boxers. I respect that. And whoever steps inside the ring is a boxer.
Right. If you could create any fight, you're the promoter, right? You could pick two people to fight right now, currently.
Like a current fighter?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a boxer. Ideally, could be an actor or actress or anyone or a footballer, okay? What fight would you create?
It's too wide. That's way too wide. I'm going to be boring because the fight that I want to see the most, the two boxers at the top, and one that I watch the most, it would be Terence Crawford and Errol Spence.
Okay.
That's
a real fight, though. Yeah. You said it perfectly. That's a real fight.
Caviar fight for me.
Caviar fight.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to also ask you, like, have you got a fight coming up soon?
Yes, April 29th. It's going to be my pro debut, actually.
Pro debut. So for people to come and support, do we have a venue yet or not really?
Not really, but the promotion side is going to be VIC, so it's a new gym in Al Quoz.
Okay.
And they'll be pretty much like handling anything promotional wise. My size this year coming and probably next year.
Yeah.
So I'm in good touch.
Okay. And for all the people who are regular Level Up listeners, they come down, they can support you. Check out your Instagram. You probably have it up there, right?
Yeah, I do.
I'll be there. I'm just saying. I'll be there. Frank, this is way more than I expected, man.
Right.
I think you're not just an example to your kids, but I think you're an example to those people that have challenges they want to face, don't take it head on. You mentioned accountability. You mentioned a lot of things today that I think people need to hear. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people are going through their own personal struggle.
True, everybody does.
Internally, right?
Yep.
And normally, you know, with mental health especially, it's known as the silent killer because it's silent. There are a lot of things that people don't have the belief to express themselves the way you have, which, by the way, massive respect to you.
Thanks.
Because not everyone can do that.
It's growth. Like now, I'll say with anything that have happened to me within those last 2-3 years, I'd say that helped me grow out of myself in that sense and try to talk more.
That's massive. That's massive. Do you feel better when you talk?
Depending on who I'm talking to, but yeah, if it's a person that I trust, just like you right now, it's fine. I'm absolutely fine with that.
I'm grateful for that. Actually, that's a great way to end the show. I could probably not take another compliment. I think that's the best thing anyone said to me on Level Up. Right now, I don't think anyone said anything as nice as what Frank just said to me now. I swear, no lie. It's true. It's the nicest thing anyone said to me. And that's a wrap for today's episode on the podcast. A big thank you to Frank for sharing his insights and his experiences with us. This is the beauty of the show. It's a real show that discusses real stories, that discusses real feelings, real emotions, and a way that people can level up. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Frank, I think you leveled up today by being able to express yourself and take that weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, because you said something earlier. You said that you don't really talk much.
No.
At all. And I know that. I can confirm that. So I think you just leveled up today.
Yeah, it's trying to open a new door. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, guys.
Likewise.
Stay tuned for our next episode. Frank, it's been an absolute pleasure, man.
Likewise.
And that is Level Up Podcast.